Killing them.
I mean, you guys ready?
Yeah, man. Let's get into it.
What are we doing?
We're doing a mock draft.
Okay, my bad. You sorry, my bad. Redo.
There's your forecast.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
It's finally here.
Mock draft day.
Yes, sir.
Third one.
Mm.
Might be the last one.
Probably the last one.
Because we got some real drafts coming up. This is just practice. That way everybody knows in our leagues if they like it. Then they know who we like, but they don't watch it. So
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we got a few. We got a few stragglers. We'll watch the first 7 minutes or so.
And also a friendly reminder to fucking pay your dues. You know who you are.
That goes to everybody. Always pay your dues
That
for
does
all
go
your
for
leagues.
everybody.
this is like when the preacher at church lectures people about going to church.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well,
they're not even here at church, so
The people who showed up don't need to hear it, right?
right, yeah. Anyway, I get the first pick this time.
Yeah, man.
You want to say the league rules?
Yeah, we got a 12 team, start 10, super flex, PPR, no tight end premium, nothing crazy here. Pretty standard stuff.
And I'm not doing anything crazy either. Pretty easy, genty.
Yeah, it doesn't get much
So
easier.
excited.
Right?
Really? Wow.
That's a great pick, man.
That was
Thank
a great pick, dude.
There's not even much
Man,
to say.
I had to do a lot of research on that one too. Like,
Number 2. This one will be Mr.
Well, it's
Nathaniels.
there's only 2 options for me here. It's
Wait, did you name Nathaniel or is it just
No,
not?
just Nathan.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, there's only 2 guys here for me. It's between Hampton and Travis Hunter. And I just lean first round running back. Yeah, that's just going to be my preference over first round receiver, just because it's a more limited quantity in general. So I take Hampton here.
but you were saying you were kind of like on the fence about it. Like you weren't. You said earlier 2 was a tough choice for you.
Yeah, and I think I definitely put a little bit of respect into how the community feels, just like from a value perspective, right?
Right.
That stuff matters. So if my team is absolute trash, then maybe I take Hunter here. But with any team that has, even a middling team, I'm going to take Hampton here.
That's cool. That's a tough pick. I think.
Is that what you would go with?
No, probably not. I'd probably go Cam Ward. I think I'm going to go Cam Ward. It's a quarterback, and that's the only one you're going to get value out of at least this year from any of these quarterbacks that you're getting. So I just think I think there's a lot of value there.
I'm pretty sure that you've gotten Cam Ward in every draft that we've done. Every mock draft, you've gotten Cam Ward.
We let the 101 fall, man.
That's true.
I wasn't gonna take Cam with the 101.
Then don't.
I was trying to get him with the 104.
Well, you're not going to get him.
That's why this is a draft.
You could have let him
Yeah,
for somebody else.
now you
at
gotta
one
pivot.
I
time.
don't just get to have him.
You get to make the receiver choice for me. That way I get the, whichever one I want for free without having to struggle and think about it.
Oh, I'm making you think about it. I'm going Travion. I love that guy.
Travion Henderson. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, probably in real life, I would have went with Ted there.
Yeah.
Since you were like, I wanted
Wow,
what you
good
had to say
shit,
about
Well,
it.
I'll take
Good
Hunter.
shit, bro.
I'll take Travis Hunter here.
Fucking got him. Fucking got him.
I will say this. If this is my pick, I'm thinking about it a lot more. And I'm probably trying to trade it so I don't have to think about the choice.
Yeah.
Like to Team 6 to move back one spot. I'll take whichever guy you don't want. Just give me.
Yeah,
give
or
me
I
the
mean,
last
even if
pick
I
of
can
the
go
draft.
get like A.J. Brown. Like just some stud that's a little bit
ain't
older or
getting
something.
A.J. Brown for
the 105? You don't think?
No, chance I'd give you that.
Wow, okay.
I think only because you guys took all the right running backs, I'm going to go Quinshawn. I like Quinshawn better than Henderson. Though Henderson, I'm still hyped for him, but after that, there's a big fall off. So then there's still a lot of good wide receivers. I'll be down.
Okay, so you're just playing the availability game, looking for.
Well, yeah. This wouldn't be like my list, of how good you should get these players or whatever. But yeah, for the availability, I like that. And then I already have the three next wide receivers. I think I would be down to have.
Right.
So you're drafting based on
Makes
need
sense.
on your pretend team.
Not necessarily need, but like based on.
You're evening out your picks. You're not just going to have 3 running backs or 3 wide receivers.
Well, I mean, like even if you have the 206, right? So you have the 106, 206, 306. all your own stock picks. If you take Judkins here, you're probably happier with the round 2 receiver that you get at 206 rather than if you take Tet here, 206 comes around, you're looking at Basil Tootin or, like Dylan Sampson, like 4th round running back. So you're, if you want to even out your hit rates.
So you're going with you're doing the DEI style drafting, huh? It's got to even out. It's got to be certain quotas you got to hit at certain positions. I'm going with Tet.
I did draft 2 African Americans, so yeah.
I'm going with Tet, and it worked out perfect for me.
Yeah,
because I was like torn between those two when I was picking up 4. Yeah, Travion and Tet, and like I ended up getting both of them. So
okay. Yeah, the reason why I'm a little down on Tet is you just start thinking it's still Carolina. You're still in Carolina, and it's Bryce Young. Even though I love Bryce Young, I don't know if you can set a lot to rely on him. Especially, there's just, I don't know. Travis Hunter, yeah, he's talented. I don't know. Tet's tough to, I feel like he could be drafted 2 through freaking 9, and it would make sense to me.
I can see arguments for a lot of players at 2. Like, it might not be my cup of tea, but I can at least see the argument for even Cam Ward. Like, what am I supposed to say? He's the first overall pick in the NFL draft. You need a quarterback.
Right.
Go get your quarterback. So I get stuck here in another spot between now the 2 last running backs that I like, instead of having to pick between the 2 top receivers. So it's between Harvey and Caleb Johnson for me. It's going to be Harvey. That's been a consistent thing for me. He's a little bit older, but I like the situation for him.
That's perfect. That's perfect for me because I wanted Emeka
there you
instead
go,
of Luther Burden.
Your receivers,
you
still get the first rounder instead of dipping back.
I'd like him, Emeka, because I just feel like it's a good offense. It's a good offense. He's a good player, and he's got people in front of him. But just like Jackson Smith and Njigba, he played out well. So you can't just say oh well. It's not in the best situation.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You just got to take good players.
Yeah, I was listening to Matt Harmon from Reception Perception on YouTube today, and he was talking about Ibuka a little bit. And he basically said something I agree with, which is the one constant in the NFL is chaos. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And who in this class can benefit more from chaos than Emeka Egbuka, right? You're drafting him at the 109 here, and it's kind of his floor as far as what you're expecting from him this year.
Yeah.
But if Mike Evans is 30-some years old, Chris Godwin's almost 30 years old, either of those guys get hurt. Godwin's coming off of a leg injury.
Yep.
Either of those guys go down. We've talked about Egbuka being the most pro-ready receiver. If he's now thrust into a role where he's a more important part of the offense, right away, that pick could be gravy for you.
Yeah.
So.
And another thing that made me think about that is the Chiefs are a good team. The Eagles are a good team. The Bucs, they're a decent team. These teams aren't ever going to be in the position to where somebody's going to just fly right in. They're normally not. So you still just got to get the guys with the talent. You're never going to be like Ted. I don't want him because I don't want to get Ted because of the situation he's in, but that could be the same thing. It was Xavier Leggett last year.
Right.
It could be the same thing every year, but they're just not a really great team, so don't have a good system. So still just got to get the talent.
Even as far as talent goes, they're very much a low floor, low ceiling, or
high floor.
The reverse of that.
Yeah.
But he's a pretty safe pick.
Yeah.
And you had said something about this before the draft even happened, a couple months before. This is a guy that you're going to be able to get late in drafts that people aren't going to be too excited about.
I'm excited about it.
I think people should be excited about it. We basically get at least one of these guys every single year where you like the player and then the situation drives their value down a little bit.
Yeah.
JSN 2 years ago, Odunze last year, where they come in, this is almost identical to Odunze. Comes in behind 2 aging all-pro wide receivers. Mm-hmm. And obviously, it didn't work out perfect for Odunze because they went out and they spent their first and second round pick on 2 more pass catchers.
Yeah.
But again, if you believe in the talent of Rome Odunze and where they drafted him and the capital behind that, probably a good time to go buy Odunze too if people are willing to sell now that they drafted more options. So.
Yeah. As an Adonze owner, though, it's like I waited all year.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
want
like
to
I'm just gonna keep waiting.
Yeah.
If you trade me Cam Ward for Travion Henderson, you have all Ohio State so far. It might be worth it.
Hey, that is true. That'd be cool.
Right here at 10 is the worst spot for me to pick. Like,
I'm not a fan.
and
of
I'm not
the
one
10
to
spot.
pick. I'm not one to pick the tight ends, but
Come on, man. There's a good pick
I
there
love
for
tight
you.
ends.
There's a great pick here for you.
yeah, I agree with you. If you look at the career averages of tight end drafted that high, and Caleb Johnson, that's early for Caleb. To me, that's early for a third round running back.
Right.
So it's between Matthew Golden and Jackson Dart for me.
Dart
And
was
I
the
like
one I
both of them.
was thinking about.
I like both of them, and I'm going with Dart.
Just because he said he was going to take him.
No,
That's smart.
that's not why. It's because you took Cam Ward already, and he took Dart before, and I haven't got a chance to get him yet.
Okay.
So I want to, mix it up a little bit.
Okay, we get it.
And I like his hair.
I think Dart is a safe short-term investment just from the standpoint he's probably not going to play right away.
Yeah.
So like he's not going to lose value over the first half of the year if he comes out and sucks.
Which on the Giants, that would be a great thing. If you're a Giants fan and he sits, be happy about it.
Yeah, that's
Please
great.
Be happy
Like
about
don't rush the process here.
Yes.
Like let the Giants get another great draft class in next year. I like what they did this year, honestly. And it kind of sucks as an NFC East fan.
it. Yeah.
It seems like they're building the right way, especially if Dart hits and he's a solid NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
But I also think there's some upside there. He's throwing to Malik Neighbors. People love Brian Daboll for some reason still. They're still all in on that guy and what he can do with quarterbacks. So, yeah, the options are there. It definitely makes it tough on me, though, because I'm getting thrown in the same situation you just had, except now a first-round quarterback isn't available for me to take.
Dude, I just heard you saying about the tight ends. You like them.
It ain't going to be me. It's going to be Caleb Johnson, right? I mean, I was between him and Harvey at 8, so it's
fair.
I'm slamming Caleb here.
Dude, you love taking third round running backs in the first round of rookie drafts.
Listen, man, it's
At least
not
he's
about
21.
it's not about where they're drafted necessarily as much as the expectation I can have for them this year. And I have the expectation that Caleb Johnson leads Pittsburgh in carries this season.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, I
Does he?
can't knock you because it worked out for you when you took 8.
I'm 1 for 1, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'm extremely scared of Caleb Johnson. They just they signed Jalen Warren to a decent deal. Obviously, he's not going to be a starter. I imagine he's going to split. He's going to be probably. I would imagine Warren's going to be the main guy, and then Caleb Johnson and Gainwell will probably do their thing. But Caleb Johnson probably will beat Gainwell. He only got like a $1.6 million deal.
Right.
But the problem I have with Caleb Johnson is he doesn't look at the hole. Like he can't hit the hole. He reminds me of Javonte or Najee, and it's like
Yeah.
these are guys that you're in a couple of years you're going to be questioning, and he was a way later pick than like Najee. And I don't know. So he scares me. He scares me. But I guess we're getting late one. Like who are you going to pick over him? Scatabo? Like
Right, yeah, if you want to go running back.
Yeah, you have to
and
go running back.
And it's for me, it's kind of the same thing what you said with taking Judkins earlier. In my opinion, there's no more running backs that I can count on to give me fantasy points this season.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking a risk
That's
on
fair,
Scatabo or Basil Tootin next, in my
Yeah.
opinion, are really my next two.
Yeah.
And I could see either one of those guys having 30 touches on the season
Yeah.
and being absolutely nothing for you and for fantasy purposes. And I don't think that's in Caleb Johnson's range of outcomes this season.
Yeah. Fair. Dude, you know what sucks is it puts me right in the position to just have one of every position,
It does, man. You're set up.
and I think I got to do it. And
Jake
it's
loves
just-
building the full roster every
I
time
really
we do one of
do.
these mock drafts. He does it every
Yeah.
time.
I really do. So I think I got to go Tyler Warren there. I mean, he has a lot of upside, but he also has a big floor too. So,
Yeah.
but first round, you got to keep him in the first round.
So Warren over Loveland. That's your choice right now.
100%.
That's what he
Okay.
took last week.
100%. Well, I wouldn't draft Loveland until like 2-7.
I
Probably.
think your
Wow.
exact words were, "I don't want a backup tight end."
I don't want.
Those were his exact words.
I
Yeah.
don't want a backup tight end. Why would I want a backup tight end?
You
Backup
should
to a
be
tight
trading
end.
for Cole Kmet in all your leagues because you can probably get him dirt cheap right now.
I probably
Yeah.
could.
Like actually, if
He wants a starting tight end.
if
You get a
that's
starting tight end for like a 4th round pick right now, probably 3rd round pick.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
this is my pick.
Yeah.
No, this is mine.
Or
No,
your pick?
it is.
Yeah,
is
this should be your
it's
pick.
Top
Yeah, yeah.
Copper's pick.
It's
yeah.
pretty easy for me.
Yeah,
It's a
Garrett Green.
second time
I know who you're taking.
when my number 4 pick, I was torn between Tet and Henderson. I got them both. For my 10th pick, it was Dart and Golden. I'm going to get them both.
Yep.
You're getting Matthew Golden.
Yeah, again.
That would have been my pick as well here, unfortunately.
I like the talent. I really do. I like it better than
It's just so tough. What do
I
the
like it
Packers
better
like?
than-
The Packers just want like every mid receiver. I don't know Golden. He could be really good, but he also could be really mid. And I just feel like
how do you?
I feel like they just get mid receivers. That's what they do now.
Okay, but like you're saying, Golden is mid, but you're saying Amika is good. It's equal possibility that either one of them is mid, but you're not saying the same thing about Amika.
Yeah, because I drafted him. What are you talking about?
well,
I'm
I also
not
think
understanding the
I think
reasoning.
He's Ohio
Abuka
State.
has a much more proven track record. Like
Yeah, see,
the guy was consistently on the field playing with Marvin Harrison, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, like all these big names that we've seen come out of there recently. JSN, and he was a consistent target earner with all those guys coming through there and also being 1st round picks.
Yeah,
I think.
However,
Nate
I
knows what
think
he's talking about.
Golden could come out here and
He
based on
sucks.
what we saw from
He's
the last
mid.
4 or 5 weeks of his season, if that's the player he's becoming,
mid.
Listen,
especially because Green Bay needs a player that can do that. They don't have a real alpha
The good
receiver
thing about him-
/ deep threat.
That is true. The good thing about him is that they spent a 1st round pick on
Yep,
him, right?
yeah, the
so
cap.
like he's going to be a part of the game plan. Yeah, unlike where last year it was like, oh, if any 3 of these guys start doing good, then we'll
Yeah, seriously, it was like throwing a dart, picking what Green Bay receiver you
Yeah.
should start every week.
throw in a Jackson Dart.
listen, all these guys on Green Bay were late round picks. This is the first one that's a 1st round pick.
Yeah, and he's
And
mid.
If you look at his trajectory, it's actually mid is probably the least combination. It's the least likely. He's either going to be bad or he's going to be good. Amika's much more likely to be mid because he's like
Yeah.
a bit of a risky pick.
Golden's definitely a risky pick.
So it's like an upside pick. Like, well, this guy could suck real bad, but he could be really awesome too.
I think you're overanalyzing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've hit the point of the draft where it's like that. I mean, you're just taking what fell to you.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the same thing. Like it's Loveland for me here. It's
Ew.
not what I want to do. But the guy was taken 10th overall in the NFL draft, and I get him
Ew.
as the 14th player in our draft.
Just because they make a stupid decision doesn't mean you have to also.
Yes, it does.
I think you're playing for like maybe 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's the strategy that the strategy I think you should almost always do with tight ends is have 0 expectations in year 1.
Yeah.
Put this guy on your taxi squad. If he blows up and he's good enough to play, pull him off. It's probably worth the roster spot.
Yeah.
But if he's not going to give you that top 8 weekly scoring, just keep him on your taxi squad for a year or 2. It's I'm sitting on Ben Sennett in a couple leagues.
Right.
Just going to leave him on the taxi squad another year, see what happens, and
Yeah.
let these guys develop because it takes time, especially in a situation like Chicago where there's a lot of mouths that are better than him already. So
You should get your 4th pick, your 3rd pick's backup, Samson.
Yeah, I could do that. You're right. I'm going Trey Harris. I think he has a good upside up and where is he?
LA.
Yeah, that's for the Chargers.
It's
he has
probably
a
my
good-
favorite situation.
Yeah, I just don't like Burden. I don't like Burden situations. Same thing as Odunze. I want to know if these guys are good right away,
Right.
and I just don't know if I'll get that with that. So
I want to know why.
it's around the same area where they got picked, right?
Who's that?
Where Trey Harris didn't he get picked early second?
Yeah. They were like 4 picks apart, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I like that better.
He's like that big jump ball guy, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a tall guy.
He only ran like goes, posts, and corners.
Yeah. So probably what's his name? Quinyon? Not Quinyon.
Quentin Johnson.
Quentin Johnson.
Yeah, like honestly, pretty similar profiles as far as like the route running tree and everything.
Yeah.
At least Trey Harris can catch, and he can do some stuff after the catch. Like he
Okay.
doesn't have those red flags. It's just that's where I'm at.
So I don't know why. I don't know how you missed this guy, but it's the guy the Texans got.
I'm safe.
Jaden Higgins.
He's not on there.
He is. He's not on the screen there.
Jaden Higgins, you want him?
Yeah, he was like the first pick in the second round.
That's another snipe. You got me again. I was hoping he'd sneak past you guys.
Dude, when I watched the cut-ups of this guy, the name that comes to me is Nico Collins.
Right.
That's who he reminds me of.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's just a big-bodied guy who can pretty much do it all, honestly.
I like. This is the problem I had with Ted, even though I took him. Here's a guy, Higgins, that's a big guy who can actually change directions also.
Right.
And I'm not necessarily seeing that, but that's something that I noticed with Nico Collins is that he can change directions really good. For a big guy, that's
impressive.
Yeah.
6'4", 20.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. He is the only one of the second-round receivers that I find myself wanting.
Mm.
The rest of them, it's like, yeah, I mean, if they fall into my lap and I'm in the late second or something, sure. You know,
in real life, though, I think at 11 you might take Higgins. In real life.
At 11, I might take what?
Might take Higgins
instead of
Caleb
Johnson.
Oh, no. I get Caleb Johnson and RJ Harvey are two guys that I would take over every single player that was taken over RJ Harvey.
Also,
after
Nate is a huge running back guy. He wants every running back so that if one hits, then at least he has him.
His entire bench.
Yeah.
Almost running back.
I have a league where I have, well, honestly, in our league, I have 4 wide receivers on the entire roster.
Well,
and
are they good?
They're weekly starters,
sure.
every week starters. I don't want to make decisions.
That's fair.
So, and I know when to play running backs. I don't know when to play Jalen Knoll. You know, I don't know when to play Trey Harris in their rookie years. I know when to play my pick here, Cam Scattergood.
Yeah.
Is that who you're taking?
Yep, that's my pick. I'm willing to take Scattergood.
That's fair.
Over Burden here.
I feel like he's probably the last one that I would think is going to get a lot of time. Maybe Jaden Blue might, but...
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Blue's the only one in the situation after this where it's like, oh, you know, he could at least challenge for a role to start the year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I go Scattergood here.
That's what actually I think I'm going to do right away because I feel like they almost feel, I feel like they have a very similar profile. Scatterbo is a lot more fun than Jaden Blue.
Right. Yeah.
But I do feel like
he's the hype guy, the dynasty darling everybody wants to happen.
But I feel like Blue has a good chance to get some time in. He could easily beat the guys that are in there, and same with Scatterbo. I think he could easily beat the guys that are there in the Giants. So, but definitely a lot of fun. Plus, I have some later guys that I want, but I don't need to get them right now.
Yeah. How about what's the guy that the Saints took?
This
quarterback.
Dude, every pick. There's 3 in a row. You sniped me.
I knew it was one that he was gonna wait. He was waiting on too.
I actually was waiting on him.
Yeah, I mean we're at the 2-7, and you're getting a quarterback that's going to probably be starting week 1.
Are you getting him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually I was thinking about taking him at 212 or 112, but I was like, I don't know. I feel like he could go later, but. Right. Yeah, no, I feel like he could easily go first round, and I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Does anybody know the correct pronunciation of his last name?
I've heard Shuck.
Shuck is what I've been hearing too. But man, if I don't want to say Shao every time I see it.
Yeah. Ka-show.
Yeah, Shuck is what I've been hearing.
It looks like it might rhyme with enough. That's how it's spelled, so it'd be Shuck.
I'm everywhere I've heard is the K. That's crazy.
Right,
we'll see. Hey, if he's any good, I'll care. Like A-Chan, I called him A-Chan, but he was really good. So he says he's A-Chan, it's A-Chan. If this guy sucks, it's going to be Shao, because that's how I think it should be pronounced.
It should be.
Tyler Shao.
Shao, okay. Good job.
This guy doesn't even know how to say his name.
Here, we'll see.
I'm
We'll hear
going
it
to say it
slow.
wrong next time.
Tyler Shao.
Shao.
I don't know anything about him. I never watched him play. He went to Louisville. I know that now, so he must be as good as Lamar Jackson.
Now on X,
that's how it works.
Tyler Shuck posted and said it's pronounced Shuck.
I'm a Shuck.
So,
well, I'm going with that instead of the
straight.
The Google AI.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Is that what they say?
Yep.
Oh, got it. I was thinking cow.
Now, did you say Shuck? Is that what you said?
Shuck.
Yep.
So he was.
Yeah.
So you were actually right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they kept saying, and I kept
that's
hearing
what I heard
Shuck,
on draft day.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any information on this guy? Like what kind of player
he was bad in college. He was bad at his pro day. He was bad at the combine.
He was nowhere on the radar until like a week before the draft, and then just skyrocketed.
So this is the guy who, if you guys remember me talking about Shedeur Sanders not throwing at the combine, this is the guy, because they throw alphabetically. He didn't want to throw because his arm is so much like less strong than Tyler Shuck's. And he thought side by side watching himself throw and then them watching him throw was going to make him look bad. Just because of how big this guy's arm is.
So at least he's got a big arm.
He's got a big arm. That is the only information I know about.
That's fun.
I've never watched any real breakdowns or film or anything on him. I've just seen him get clowned on depth chart for Taysom Hill, QB1.
That's funny.
So he could be anywhere from Josh Allen to Joe Flacco. I don't know.
No, I would say Josh Allen to like Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking. Like,
well,
it could be awful.
Sorry,
it could be really.
R.I.P.
It could be we could get 5 games and it's Nathan Peterman.
Yeah.
That's range of outcomes.
Is Peterman? I'm just trying to think of guys that had really big, strong arms.
Jamarcus Russell.
Russell. Yeah, I guess it could be really bad. I was just thinking, usually if a guy's got a huge arm, then he's not going to be terrible. But I guess that's not true.
Right.
So,
Man, so this gets tougher for me because I don't really want to start having to take receivers, but it's like, I mean, at this point, Luther Burden is just the best available.
yeah.
So I just take the bear and run.
You doing that?
Yeah, it's gonna be Burden, and I mean, Ben Johnson's been going nuts about him. He walked into their first press conference after the draft. He sat down, and as soon as they went to start talking, he said, "This Luther Burden guy is a monster." He said, "We've had him out there for one day, man. This guy's special." Before they could even ask him questions. So I'll at least take the coach speak. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's better than him not saying anything good about him, I guess.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think I have to go with Xavier Restrepo because I already got Cam Ward.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Why not?
Well, he went undrafted.
Yeah, I know.
He's already got a 6th round pick, so
You already know Cam Ward's going to be throwing to him.
Yeah, I mean, he was a rider for his guys. He even said he told every team he interviewed with that he wanted Restrepo on the team. Like he pushed for him everywhere he interviewed. So.
And I mean, who's all in on the Titans?
I mean, it's Calvin Ridley's the only real.
Yeah, so I
receiving
mean,
option.
he could easily see the field.
So it sounds like you're just drafting Allen. You're like Aaron Rodgers has Allen Lazard. You're just drafting Cam Ward's Allen Lazard.
Hey,
You
if he's
should be
lucky,
mad about that.
it's the C.J. Stroud Tank Dell thing, where Stroud pounded the table for him, or Dwayne Haskins Terry McLaurin thing, where he pounded the table for Terry. So
It might be good.
it could happen. Him going undrafted and the rest of the league, not buying in on their own without Cam Ward pushing is a little concerning. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the hit rate for a guy like him is pretty damn similar to the 3rd round pick.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately,
I feel good about it. So
it's not bad enough to.
The level's off there. Yeah, around 3rd, 4th round. Yeah, that's true. I can. And I will never knock somebody. I'll make fun of somebody, but I can't hate on them for taking who they think is good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Well,
at the end of the day, what do we know?
I don't know if he's good at all. Actually, I've seen nothing about him. I just like that Cam Ward pushed for him, and he got on the same team as Cam Ward. So
Yep.
makes me feel good about it.
Well, Kyle Williams, definitely. Yeah, I like that guy.
I don't even know who it is.
I do.
I really like Kyle Williams.
I was
I don't know this guy.
he's a Stephon Diggs kind of guy.
There's no
That's
news
one
for him.
comparison I would.
He was the 3rd round pick for New England.
Another 3rd round pick for fucking New England. Yeah, that's what we should.
Dude, one of them's got to work out. One of them's got to work out.
I mean, you
Did
give him
what
at the
happened last
210. He profiles a lot different than the other receivers on the roster, at least.
Who worked out last year?
None of them. And to your credit, you were right. Mayo was an awful candidate to be the head coach of that team and put together an offense with a rookie quarterback. That's clear.
Stupid. Just stupid.
The hope is, they got McDaniels
Right.
back now, so.
Okay.
So yeah,
I guess that's a good thing. I don't know.
I mean, his track record in New England's good. It's 99% Tom Brady, but
Right. Yeah.
So who do we like, Nate? I'm figuring we'll go to running back for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We're gonna go down to Basil Tootin.
Oh, we're going Tootin?
Oh yeah, man.
You are sticking with your guns on that.
I'm sticking with my guns on him, and honestly, he's the next most draft capital available at running back. And a 4th round running back and a 3rd round receiver is a total toss up to me, so I'm going to hammer the running back.
I just don't feel good about it because of the 2 guys on the team already, but
Yeah, well,
like you were talking about chaos.
yeah,
That's
for
the
sure.
only
Right?
thing you can
It's
guarantee.
chaos, and I think he's a different kind of back than those 2. So at least there's a narrative I can build in my head where it's, okay, maybe they want to go fast, right? And they're no huddling with Brian Thomas, Basil Tootin, Travis Hunter. They want to have speed all over the field, maybe. So
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you? I mean, to me, he seems like he's pretty similar to Etienne. Or do you think he's just a better pass catcher than him?
I just think he's much faster at this point. Etienne, in my opinion, looked cooked last year.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I was expecting the Jaguars to spend higher draft capital on running back first.
he's not. You got to say he's like 26. Could it be the injury? He was injured last year. He had like a foot injury, I think.
Yeah, but I mean that's the Etienne special, right? Like, hasn't that been 75% of his career is dealing with injuries at this point? We've gotten one awesome year from him, and then we've had this bad year, and that's really all the football we've got to see from him. So it's more
He's
just
already pretty old too.
Yeah, it's more just a player stance for me at this point. He's somebody I really liked coming out from Clemson, but now it's I just wasn't impressed with what I saw this year from him or Bixby.
Yeah. I mean, I like Bigsby.
Bixby looked better
Yeah, he
than
did
he did
look better.
before.
Yeah, Bixby looked like an NFL running back this year.
Yeah.
I can at least say that. I think he looked better than Etienne for sure.
Yeah.
I think you can agree this is probably not the best place. Like, you had a soft spot for Basil Tootin, and I did too, but like, I was kind of bummed when he went here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Like,
it's not a dream landing spot by
If he goes to a place with only one running back to beat, then you're like, okay, I like that. And then he's going to see some field.
If he would have been the guy that the Cowboys would have taken.
Man, even a team like Washington, I would have been in love if Washington took him in the 4th or 5th round because, just like I was saying about them, that's something that they really don't have. Like, Austin Eckler has lost a step big time. Brian Robinson is not a fast back. They don't have any kind of explosivity out of the backfield right now.
Do you like Etienne's brother?
I'm okay with him.
I am going with Will Howard
Not mad at that either.
because
That's QB1 right now. It's not. I guess it's right now.
it probably is. Yeah, right. But I mean, there's a good chance that he could start sometime during this year or next year. And everybody's still sold on Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh, but he's not signed there yet.
Yes, he ain't there yet, right?
Right. So, like, I mean, they're starting mini camps already. Like, if Rodgers is going to sign somewhere, he needs to sign soon. So, hopefully before Sunday, so I'll know if I need to draft Will Howard or not. But also, I've liked Will Howard. You don't win a championship. I don't believe you don't win. Then again, I got burned on Stetson Bennett. But that's because he has a drug problem, I think. But, I feel like you don't win a national championship without having some talent. So,
Right.
Jacob, your second round is a 6th rounder, an undrafted guy, and another 6th rounder.
you can say mad about it.
And
I'm not
Trey
mad about it.
Harris.
Okay, Trey Harris, that was cool. I like that one.
But if I do you want to trade Cam Ward for Travion Henderson?
Yes.
Okay, then I got like all of Ohio State.
Said bet.
The only reason I was going to do that trade is because of I want you to have that.
Let me see if I can get their O lineman.
But you also,
Is that all we're doing though? Is it just the first?
yeah,
round?
because you're already like struggling to find guys.
I'm not.
I mean, we can like just throw out like some
I might seem a little confused, a little uneasy, a little bit used. I'm not trying to change, but I think you're pretty cool.